bad intonation. One is you don't hear it well and you don't identify the pitches and you need to fix your ear. The second is fixing your mechanics with your left hand. Let's start on that. So before we get started, please hit that subscribe button to be the first to know when I release a video. I do them very often and I put a lot of content in there about violin playing as well as excerpts and whatnot. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. So let's get into the left hand mechanics. If the fingers are not working properly, you're not going to really have successful, consistent intonation. I talk very often to my students about false positives, and true negatives. And let me explain what I mean by that. You can play a note in tune positively, a positive note, but have the finger not down all the way down. So it's basically a false positive. Whereas if I put that finger down all the way, all of a sudden it's sharp. You could also have the finger down all the way and basically have a true negative note, okay? So that's obviously not what we're talking about. We're talking about getting those fingers in the right place so as to have true positive notes. So getting a true positive note is a matter of getting that finger, pushing the string down all the way to the fingerboard. Really means having good mechanics and a good angle of attack with your fingers. I try to make sure it's at somewhat of a 45-degree angle. Every finger, for that matter, same angle, okay? And I feel like I get that string really, really pressed down without trying too hard though, and forcing it. I liken it to pressing a doorbell. You only have to press it so far to get the doorbell to ring. So just make sure you have enough finger pressure to get those fingers all the way down to the fingerboard, okay? With a nice angle of attack, like I said. That angle of attack changes depending on what string you're on. So if I go to the E string, I'm probably going to move the elbow out this way a little bit so as to have the same angle of attack. Whereas if I play on the G string, it's going to move out slightly, okay, towards the camera, okay, towards you, the viewer, okay? But again, I have the same angle of attack with the fingers, okay? Really important. The other variable is hand size. I have a hand size where all my fingers, fortunately, are the same length. A lot of folks have very short pinky, so sometimes you have to move the elbow out a little bit more to kind of get that fourth finger down and really get good pressure on the string. So next, let's talk about exercises as to really make sure to get these fingers working properly. Number one, we talk about just finger attack and articulation. You can hear that I really make sure that finger hits the string and releases. And where I'm using this finger like a hammer, okay? Same thing with each finger. And I'm articulating from the knuckles. So we can just do a simple scale. There are so many Stradrak exercises where you can really work on this particular articulation with the left hand. And I could do another whole video probably, and I should, just on that subject alone of finger articulation. Okay, the other one is making sure the fingers are down and prepared when you are going backwards. I really make sure that these fingers have the string down all the way so that when I release the finger, the note is in tune. Okay, that is something that is sometimes neglected by most violinists, and that's why some of these notes sound out of tune. The other drill is making sure the finger can move sideways and horizontally on the fingerboard without shifting. Many people tend to smudge this and kind of don't articulate it up and down. You actually are lifting the finger ever so slightly off the string and then re-articulating it down. You can do that with each finger. Notice I'm not moving the wrist at all or the arm. I'm keeping that very stable. Do that drill. That's another good drill. Along the same lines, you can do this third drill with double stops. I like using 6 because I feel like it's a very strong feeling between the fingers and very natural, and I can really maintain the same angle of attack with both fingers. Playing third, sometimes I have to make alterations, so I think using a 6 would be the best thing to do. Same thing. Using a major 6. Notice I have to use double the weight with the right hand while using the same pressure with the left hand, making it that much more difficult, okay? It's a little bit more coordination between the hands necessary. That's why I like doing this drill. So let's review. Good hand structure, making sure the finger is attacking the string from a 45-degree angle and maintaining that angle as much as possible. Of course, there are exceptions, but for right now, let's just keep it simple in first position, okay? Next, we want to make sure the fingers articulate up and down and just get enough finger pressure down to the string so as to make that note sound true positive, like I said, okay? Again, picking up the finger, making sure that the finger, that is the descending finger, is down all the way, not picking up the pressure of that lower finger, okay? And then let's just make sure that we can do slides from 1 to 1 or 2 to 2, whereby you're picking up the finger just so slightly, but maintaining the stability of the hand. And then do it with double stops, with 6. One thing I neglected to say is the thumb really needs to be stable as well. Make sure that doesn't move. We keep everything very still while being very agile with the left hand. So remember these things when working on intonation with scales or Schradjak or any other exercise. I really think they will be of value to make sure you're getting true positive notes. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. We'll see you again soon.